right, we're gonna be changing a shock on a 2013 Elantra, and these are the tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 17 mil socket, a 19 mil socket, a ratchet wrench, a breaker bar, and a torque bar. So I'm just gonna show you the basic setup using regular hand tools and no impacts or anything, because not everybody can afford those. So we got the tires on the ground right now, and this is the best time to crack them. So I'm just getting it on the lip right here. Not too far back because there's no structure right here, but if you get right here, you can lift it up and still put a jack stand on the side. Some people like the jack over here and put the jack stand. It's not going to make too much of a difference if you're not trying to balance the cart. We'll remove the shock, the one side, because if you remove both, the axle could come down. So I'm just going to have something here just in case. So I'm going to go in there and crack her loose. You kind of want to feel what it's going to do here. It is not on a long bolt, and it's been on here for well over 10 years. So just get a feel for it. It's moving. We just want to make sure it's not twisting. And I highly recommend you start out with hand tools first for this kind of stuff, because you get a feel for it. If you put an impact right on this, yeah, it's very quick, but you'll never know if it's going to snap. It's either going to come off or it's just going to break right away. All right, switch to a ratchet because I know this isn't going to snap on me now. All right. So this is spinning here, so just pull this out. Sometimes she'll spin on you. You don't have to remove this all the way, just let it sit there. All right, and the next bolt is kind of hidden. So it's going to be right here, hiding under the undercoating. Might be a little more obvious on some cars. I actually like that there's undercoating on this because it means water won't get into the threads. Same thing. Oh, she's a 17 now. And just turn it with a bar, not an impact, because this goes through a frame, like the actual body, so you just want to see if it's going to crack. And I'm confident this isn't going to be an issue, so I'm going to put the ratchet on it. So once I remove this shock bracket, it may drop down, so this whole axle could drop 4 or 5 inches. And if you're under here, that's going to really hurt. The way to avoid that is you can put a jack stand here, or you can get your trusty little jack ready for it. Right under anywhere you can find without damaging the rotor, probably back here, and put pressure on it, and that way it won't drop down and you'll have an easy installation on the next shock. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm not trying to lift it, I'm just putting pressure on it. That's all we need to do. All right, we're gonna pry in between here, and this should pop off. Some of them, the bushings go all the way through, some it's just slightly on. So, and that's it. And we can test this now that it's out of the cart. That shock is pretty bad. That doesn't take much effort. Imagine how much the car weighs, and yeah, there's a dead spot in it. So, it's a good thing we replaced it. And we based it on age. There's no actual physical leaks on it. This is just undercoating. So yeah, she needed to be replaced. All right, this is what your new shock looks like. I always recommend to test them and pull them down. This one's got a good return because we primed it already. So if you threw it into the vehicle without checking it, it could take a while and you may hear noises the first time you go for your road test. So always recommend priming your shocks, make sure they're right side up. The old one, the OEM one, has a little indent area here, so you can push it up and push it onto the little axle there, and it'll hold. On the aftermarket one, there is a little difference left to right, so we're going to put that on the inside. And if you don't know, there's an arrow right there on most shocks. They'll show you which way to install it. I have run into it where a customer puts it upside down and it blows all the oil out the seal because it's not the right way. So install it the right way up. All right, so always install the top shock bolt on these because it's incredibly long and this is the last thing you want to cross thread. So all I have to do is get it on an angle, get it in here, and just want to line the hole up. It might take a little bit, so I'm going to switch positions and get under there. But you just start your bolt like that. So I think it's in place, so I'm just going to push the bolt through from the other side. And it went through. And started a couple threads. And there, we're good. And while I'm down here, I can do this. It's going to take a little bit of effort. We're just going to push up, get the bolt started, and pull it through. All right, first thing I like to do is, because there's so much dirt here, is just hand thread this. Do not hit it with the impact. Because this is a very specialized bolt and you don't want to be going to the dealer. Oh, she's a 19. You can get a bigger bar and do this, or whatever you're comfortable with. I know I'm pretty strong. So there, she's done.